My name is Donald Lee Johnson II. A lot of people know me as D Nice, affiliated with the Dragnets. We right here at Thornburg Park, which is like a second home, you know what I'm saying, to the Shotguns and Dragnets. And I was originally born and raised in South LA, South Central. My family grew up on 79th and Hoover. So majority of the stuff that I knew was LA. I really didn't know nothing about Gardena gangs. But I remember a particular situation, and that's why I wanted to come up here and do this interview at Thornburg. The first time I had ever heard of the Dragnets, this was maybe like the mid to early 90s. The Dragnets, I'm not gonna mention anybody else hit on here, but the Dragnets had a situation where they got into it with another gang, and it was a big brawl up here, and somebody taped it, sent it to the news. And I remember watching the news with my mother, and I was young, you know what I'm saying? And I just seen a gang of dudes fighting, boop, bop, boop, just getting down. And I was like, man, this is crazy. And they was like City of Gardena Brawl, but they didn't name who the gangs were. All I seen was dudes just getting beat up on TV, and then come to find out when I went to school, which I was going to West Santos at the time, and word got back that who it was. That's when Gardena Dragnet kind of rang a voice in my head, like Gardena Dragnet, man, that was cool. And then I had another little issue. I used to go to Henry Clay, got into it with a dude up there over some stupid stuff. He tried to bully me, some dude from another little neighborhood, and it was a dude from Gardena Dragnet that actually saved me from that situation. Cause I'm a little dude, you know what I'm saying? I got my uniform on, I'm going to Clay, I'm thinking I'm feeling myself, got my Jordans on, and I tried to be cool and go hang out with some other guys around the back of the school, and it was a big bully dude. He was in like the ninth grade going to Washington at the time, ran up on me, just on some weird stuff, man. I mean, this dude didn't really have no reason to do what he was doing to me at the time, but he came up in my face, grabbed me, talking about, he was trying to jack me for my shoes, and then it was a dude from Gardena Dragnet that really pushed him off of me and was like, man, what the whoop? And then they low-key started fighting. So that was another little situation. I'm like, man, he didn't have to do that. I don't know this dude, so that was one of the situations where I'm like, yeah, man, Dragnet, man, that's cool. I moved to Gardena when I was 11, 12, went to Perry Junior High, and that's when I really started to see paybacks. Dragnets, shotguns, G13s. I really started to see the Gardena gangs really, in a heightened level. Everybody wasn't gang banging. At that particular time, we played football together. I played drums with these dudes. It was a lot of things that I did that wasn't just about gang banging. But once my mother passed away, December 23rd, '02, that's when I started living life without a conscience. And it was, I got affiliated with Dragnet, got put on, and after that, it was Dragnet, and that was all I really thought about. When I first really got put on the hood, it was fun. We had a lot of fun. Parties, drugs, women. That was just the lighter side of gang banging. But then homies started to get life. People started to get shot. I had many drug addictions in my life that I had to overcome. Cocaine, methamphetamines, a lot of things that I had to really overcome in the gang banging world that I didn't think, and just a lot of things I dealt with mentally, that a lot of people ain't gonna discuss because everybody wants to be a tough guy and say that they can do this and do that. But I dealt with a lot of heartache and pain in this lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? I was the type of person, when it came to drugs, I didn't turn nothing down. And so I actually got introduced to methamphetamines from one of my older homegirls, and she introduced me really to a lot of stuff. I mean, it's just, that's what it was. I don't care if it was a pill, powder, meth, a stick, whatever it was, I was pretty much doing anything, and my mind was on go, Alex, man, I didn't even, man, I was way somewhere else, and I was a totally different person at that particular time. And drugs, I had a situation in 2010, actually, I'm sorry, 2011, when I had got back on drugs, because I would get clean, get my life together, go to school, by the grace of God, get back in church, get back on drugs. I relapsed like 3 or 4 times, and so my biggest relapse, 2010, I had checked myself into a room, and I literally, snorted cocaine all night, and I was gonna kill myself because that's how bad off I was at that particular time in my life. And this is just my testimony. I'm not saying this to get no cool points, but I was literally going to take my life. And I just I just pretty much heard the voice of God speaking to me saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Get out of LA, get out of LA. And I just still sat there, still had the gun in my hand, and I ended up calling one of my family members, my aunt, and I just cried on the phone to her. And then I went up to Bakersfield, California, man, and I've been living there ever since, and life has been gravy, man. I started doing drugs maybe in like 2003. That was the first time I really ever like popped a pill and maybe snorted some coke.
How old were you back then?
I was 18. I was just about to turn 19. That's the first time I ever did some heavy drugs. And so I did drugs for some years, ended up, doing some little county time when I was 21, and then I just kind of got clean and was like, man, when I get out, I ain't doing, how everybody get out of jail. They want to have the hero story. I ain't gonna never do this. I'm gonna get in school. I'm gonna take care of my kids. And it's like, once you back out in the streets, it's a different story. I said I wasn't gonna smoke weed no more, drink. Man, I got back out and it was all right there. So I started back doing it. And then, so that maybe was about 05. Did it till about 06, 07. Then I went back to jail in the county, did a little violation. And got back out. I'm clean. I don't want to smoke no weed. I'm healthy, looking good. And slowly but surely, I relapsed again, 07, 08. And after that time, from 08 on, I was popping pills. I was doing meth. I was pretty much doing everything up until that situation that I had in 2011. That's what really solidified everything for me. Well, really, it was two situations. I was laid up in the hospital in 2009. Almost OD'd on methamphetamines, laid up in the hospital for a couple of weeks, lost a gang of weight. And then I told myself when I got out, I wasn't gonna do this no more. I was in school, I was in church, I got my life together. Slowly but surely, I'm back in the hood with the homies again, doing the things that I wanted to do. And at the end of the day, I wanted to do the drugs, It wasn't just always people that was pushing it on me and pushing it on me and pushing it on me. It wasn't just that all the time. So that's just pretty much what I did, man. When you really want to make a change in life, you got to change your environment. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times dudes get out of jail, they parole or get out the county jail, whatever you get out of, and you go right back into that same environment that got you in jail. And you have to ask yourself, if you really want to make a change, changing your environment is the best thing you can do. And so that's what I had to do, because I really couldn't make a change still in the hood. I really couldn't get my life together still hanging out in the hood, because if I'm on a good foot and I'm feeling good, just came from school, and I come to the hood and a homie throw me a pill or throw me something, I'm gonna get on. That's just what I was doing. So I had to take myself out of that environment. It wasn't even just me taking myself out of that environment. I had to make a conscious decision within myself as a man. What do I want in life? Because I done already been through hell and hot water. Am I gonna still keep driving down this same dark alley, dark street and not change my life? I had to change my life.
Thanks for watching StreetGangs.com. Please share and like the video you just watched. Leave a comment below and tell us what you think. You can also watch 2 of our previous videos. Don't forget to subscribe.